Welcome to your tutorial on how to use the website Diigo to save websites that you're going to need for your iSearch project. This tutorial will be followed up with a short tutorial on how to do your reading without note-taking reflections. So for today, you want to make sure, again, as always, that you're using Google Chrome because the directions that I will give you only work with Google Chrome. Firefox and Internet Explorer have different directions, so make sure you are using Chrome for this. Once you have opened Chrome, you're going to want to go ahead and go to the website Diigo, and notice that it's spelled D-I-I-G-O. So diigo.com. Go ahead, get to that website, and you are going to click Sign In. Now, you should have received from your teacher some login credentials, and it's going to be kind of a weird username and a weird password. So if you haven't gotten that yet, I need you to pause the video and grab that from your teacher, and then come on back and sign in. Once you have your information, put your kind of random username, random password in, and click Sign In. And the first thing we're going to do is change your username and password. Your screen probably looks a little different than mine. Right here on your screen, you probably have a big white box that's sort of just showing you around Diigo, but since you're watching this tutorial, you can hit right up here in the corner either the X or the skip button. And then we're going to go ahead before we do anything else and change that username and password. So come right on up here to the top right-hand corner where you see your name, and you're going to click on the second option which says Settings. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change your username, which should be the second option. You're going to click Change Username, and you're going to type in the same username that you used to log on to the computers at Brookville. So go ahead and do that and hit Save. Once you do, Diigo is probably going to take you back to the login screen and ask you to log in again. So pause the video, log in, and then come back to Settings. And remember, settings are right underneath your name, the second option down. So now your username should be what you actually want it to be, and we're going to change your password right down here by clicking Change Password. And you're going to put your random password in that was given to you by your teacher, and then you're going to type in your new password 2 times. And go ahead and just use your CCS lunch number password. That way you won't have to remember anything else new. Click Save when you're done, and I think that Diigo does not make you log back in once you change your password. If it does, just go ahead and use your new information that you've just set up. So if you click on Diigo, it'll take you back to our blue screen. And just to explain what Diigo is, it calls itself a social bookmarking website. And what it allows you to do is to save websites from anywhere on the web in one place and be able to find them and then be able to write on them kind of the way that you write on a paper like a book or a worksheet or something like that. So you can highlight, you can write little post-it notes to yourself. You got a lot of options here. Diigo has some different places. One place you can click is My Library. And if you click on My Library, you probably have some random links that are just there to show you what it looks like. You probably don't have quite as many as I do, but all of these are links to websites that I've saved for different projects or things that I've been working on. Where we're going to work for the most part today is the My Outliners section. So I want you to go ahead and click right up here on My Outliners. And your screen probably has a little ghost in the middle that says, oops, you don't have any outliners or something like that. And we're going to change that right now. So go over to the right-hand side and click on the green plus button. And here's where you are going to type in whatever topic you are working on. So I have chosen for this iSearch project to do a little bit of investigating into Ireland because I'd like to travel there sometime. So I'm going to title my outliner Ireland, and I'm going to hit the blue Create button. Once I do that, and you guys do that as well, your screen is going to look a bit different than mine. Again, you're probably going to have a little tutorial here in the middle, so go ahead and hit skip over on the side, or the X, I think it says skip. And then your screen looks like this. All this stuff over here are little keyboard shortcuts to help you later. You don't need those right now, so we're just going to hit these arrows to hide them. But if you ever need to remember how to tab over or tab out or something like that, you can always hit this question mark and they'll come back for you. For now, we're just going to hide them, get them out of our way because we don't need them at the moment. This document we can type in just like we can in a Word or a Google Doc, but it also does a few other cool things, and so we're going to work on getting those cool things going for you first. I'd like for you to leave this tab open, and I'd like for you to come up to the top and open a second tab. I've got more tabs open for later, but you're just going to have two. What we're going to do now is we're going to add our Diigo button to our Google Chrome, and this is going to be really important to be able to save websites in just a little bit. So come on up here into the URL box, and I want you to type in Diigo, D-I-I-G-O, space, Chrome, space extension, and hit enter. So it should be spelled just like this, and if you spelled it right and typed it in like I asked, the first option says Diigo Web Collector, Capture and Annotate Chrome Web Store. So we are going to click on that, and this screen is going to pop up for you. Now, if you look over on the right-hand side, you're going to have a blue button right there for the moment because you don't have this yet. Mine is green because I already have my button. You're going to go ahead and click where it says Add to Chrome. And it's probably going to ask you, are you sure? Do you really want to do this? And go ahead and say yes, and then it will start installing. And it might take a second to get installed, but you'll know that it's done when this turns green and you have this little blue button right here. So as soon as it's done, you can go ahead and exit out of this tab. We don't need that tab anymore. So you know that you're finished because you have this blue button. We cannot go on without the blue button. So now we're ready to actually save some websites. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a little background reading and just see what's out there about our topic. So I'm just kind of checking out what is available about Ireland out on the internet right now. One thing that I want to make sure that I take a look at as I do this is my pre-note taking worksheet. Remember, you guys have already done this part. This was in the last tutorial if you have not, so you need to go back and look if you don't have this. But I've got some questions now that I know that I want to find out about Ireland. The cheapest way to get there, best places to visit, what the climate and the terrain is like, passport information, and safety concerns. So I think I'm going to start with this blue question just because that's the one that's most interesting to me. And I'm going to come over and open a new tab. And you can use whatever search engine you want. Probably a lot of us will use Google. And I'm going to type in places to visit in Ireland. And I'm just going to see what results I get. So I can scroll down and just kind of look at what's available. And I actually really like this first one, 10 of the most beautiful places to visit in Ireland, because I definitely want to see some pretty stuff while I'm there. So I'm going to click on this website. And then I'm going to take a little time and I'm going to read my website. Now guys, this is where you're going to pause this video. You're going to find a website and you're going to spend between 5 and 10 minutes just reading the site. I don't have to read every single word, but I need to have a good idea of what this website is telling me about. So go ahead right now, pause your video, use your pre-note taking worksheet to search for something, find a site and read it a little bit. Again, spend some time with it, and then unpause the video and I'll show you what to do next. Okay guys, so I've paused my video and read my website, and now I'm ready to do the next step, and hopefully you have done the same thing. So if you read this website and you think this is a pretty good one for my research, you're going to come up to this button that we just installed and you're going to click it. Now the first time you click this button, probably what's going to happen is it's going to open a new tab just right beside this one and tell you a little bit about the button and how it works. Go ahead and just exit out of that tab and come right on back here and then click the button again and you're going to get this menu. We're going to choose the first option that says Save Bookmark. Now when you save the bookmark, this is what's going to come up for you. It's going to have the name of the article up at the top. It's going to have a place where you can add tags, and these are much like hashtags that you can add on Twitter or Instagram. You can add them if they're helpful to you. So like I could tag this Ireland, places to visit, beautiful places, if I wanted. I don't really do that very often because it's not very helpful to me, but you can if you want. Notice that you would, just like on Twitter or Instagram, no spaces in between if you're typing more than one word. What we have to do though is we have to add this website to an outliner. So if you skip this step, it's going to mess up. Make sure you do this. You're going to click this little down arrow here, and this is where any outliners that you have are going to show up. Now sometimes this shows up blank, and if it does, you just need to hit the refresh button right here, and then your outliner will show up. You only have one, so your choice is easy. I've got to find my Ireland outliner, and I click that, and now I know where it's going. I can also share to a group. I'm not going to do that because this is just for me. So then I'm going to hit save. Once I do that, a couple things will happen. The little blue button will have a little red like bookmark on it, and then this menu will pop up. And if I go back to my outliner, I sometimes have to hit refresh, which is right up here. But notice that now I have a link to my site that I just visited. And I can open this link in a couple of ways, which I'll show you really quickly. You can click it straight in the outliner itself, and notice that this little side menu comes up. Looks like Pac-Man eating a few things. And what will happen is this site will actually open up on the side view. For some reason it's being a little slow for me right now. Let me see if I can get it to open for you. Maybe not going to work today. That's okay. But probably if you click yours, it will. Mine's just being a little weird. And it'll have all the text from your website right here in the side view. But it might get rid of some of the ads and it might get rid of some of the pictures this way. So another way you can open the website is if you just put your mouse over top of it, and in this little white box, there is a place where you can click to get, and it'll open in the new tab again. So it'll be the same website. We just have saved it so we can get back to it. So that is how to save websites onto your outliner. You will eventually need to save at least 4 websites to your outliner. We'll talk more about that in the next video tutorial on how to do your reading without notes reflections. I did just want to let you guys know, probably you're going to be working on this more than one day in class, and for some reason this little Diigo button tends to disappear if you, like when you start your computer the next day. So you have to make sure that that button is there or else Diigo doesn't really work. So you may have to reinstall the button. So if you need directions on how to reinstall that button, remember you can watch the beginning of this tutorial, but it's really simple. All you do is you open a tab and you type in Diigo Chrome extension and you choose the first option and you add it there. Okay, so you're all prepared to add websites now. Come on back for the next tutorial where I talk to you about what to do with those websites that you save. Thanks.